Swear to God, did not plan this. Baby mini musk turtles. Some of my efforts have failed. Look at that bad boy. That little one. Look at that little baby. These are long fin neon tetras. We had a disaster. Hey everybody, Cory from Aquariumcoop. Still no haircut. And today I'm just gonna show you a few things, talk about a few things, and mostly update. I haven't updated in the fish room since I went to China. That's been a while. Been building the store, that's been crazy. And it's Sunday morning, and I thought, I gotta get back in that fish room. There's so many things I wanna do. So I'm gonna do a few of those, and we're gonna talk. So first things first, you can see me in the reflection. But Ladybird's doing well. Vallisneria, lots of glare on the screen, but vallisneria coming in well. There's been babies in here, not from Ladybird. She's just hamming it up, but we've been breeding, I'm gonna say, quote unquote, lots of hillstream loaches for a tank that, you know, we're just feeding and not intentionally trying to breed, or we're not, you know, the flow's not even on. So you can see one right back there, actually, if I do the super zoom. Oh, it's too blurry, but that little guy right there, yeah, bred in the tank. And usually if we look through, so there's an adult, and here's an adult. Could be a little baby now by now, but if you look right there, look at that bad boy. That little one. Started out with, I didn't know what they were. So I was just seeing babies and I was like, wow, they don't look like anything that's in there. They were kind of striped. And so, you know, I do like a good ecosystem. And yes, we're even breeding with Ladybird in here. There's some algae, we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna talk about how we might tackle that. I've got some great looking flag fish in here, but they're not keeping up. They hide out over here. So we can come around the bend now. They're way smarter than we are. But while I was gone, wife was feeding, and this isn't, you know, I love that my wife feeds, but she was feeding the babies and everything, as she does. She loves the baby fish, and so lots of excess algae from too much flake and just other stuff, where Ladybird just wants clams. Everything else is kind of meant to eat after Ladybird. Here's another little baby right here. So, you know, that's just how it goes. And we're gonna put a few more algae eaters in here, hopefully that won't nip at Ladybird. So next we'll chime in with other babies. The bane of my existence. Even the new little lights are blinking. Arg. This is exactly what I want to avoid with our lights, is making sure that this isn't the fate of all Amazon, Home Depot lights like we've been seeing. So in general, doing okay. Looking at the babies here, that's what we've got in this tank. We've been hatching out baby mini musk turtles. You can see that's my finger. That guy's stupid small. And we've got the water level down a little bit for them, just so they can climb on the piece of wood. We've got some Vienna guppies in there, right? Got more prototype test pieces. And these little babies. And there's, I think, 6 or 7 of them now. Starting to produce fry from the, you know, from the Vienna guppies, so that's good. And, you know, mostly they're coming, you know, if you guys aren't familiar, they're coming from this tank, which tank's not even close to being done. But you can see there's all these little cherry shrimps. These were all the coals. I thought these guys would eat them. They're not. A lot of times they just ride around on the turtles. But as you might recall from a previous video, we built this lay box, and I've had these turtles for about 9 or 10 years now. These are absolutely full grown, and these are called a mini musk turtle. A lot of people are just going, those are just musk turtles. But mine have stayed really small in comparison to most people's musk turtles. So I didn't invent them, I didn't collect them, I didn't find them. I just call them what I bought, or I didn't even buy, well yeah, I did buy them. It was what I bought them as. So we built this lay box, and they come up here, they lay some eggs, and I notice it's disturbed, and then I go, oh geez, I better get them into, oh, looks like we have another little turtle right here for this morning. Swear to God, did not plan this, if that is a little turtle in there. So then the turtles come out into this incubator. Now, know this incubator totally broke, nearly killed them all, and I won't be using this much longer, and I'll go back to the traditional, make my own method instead of buying the, you know, $100 and some way that should be better. I've had great luck without doing that. So as we look in here, look at that little baby. So hatched out of this egg right here, and that's the little baby. So then I take it over to the tank. Let's open that up. I'm doing this one-handed. Normally, my wife is doing it or I'm doing it, and you got two hands. So I want to make sure, I'm going to take this over with me actually, and we're gonna introduce it to the new tank. And you can do this for like a season. And then you don't want to put these little bitty babies, like there's the latest little baby right there. And that's a little bit bigger, hatched, you know, a few weeks earlier. But you don't want to put these little bitty babies with the big ones because they could get hurt. So we're just keeping with guppy fry, and we feed the tank. And so you grab this little buddy very carefully. You can see, like, compared to my thumb. And then I usually give it a little rinse-a-rino. Get the sand off of it. And then maybe we'll go in the light so you guys can see it. So we come over here, and this little buddy, super cute. And you can see you still have a little bit of the yolk sac left. That'll heal. And we'll put that in, and they'll crawl around and eat just like the rest of them will. So I think that might be number 8. I gotta count them again, but as you can see, there it goes. I'm out of here, Dad. I gotta run. And that's what they'll do. So then I remove the egg. So now I know, like, I watch for the eggs to crack open. We've got a bunch more, as you can see. That's good. Go put this back. We'll check the other one. And that's the cycle of making little baby turtles. So I'm super into that. I had done it for a few years, kind of got overwhelmed with turtles and work. Yeah, you can see there's 5 more. So, you know, if we're lucky, we'll get 5 plus another 6, another 11, which would be insane. Put those back in, let them chill. Yeah, so that's the turtle update. Not bad, right? I'm enjoying getting, you can see, my wife set up a chair, I set up a chair, and we kind of come just check and see how they're doing. Very minimal scape here. I'm gonna do, you know, a better kind of rock and wood and that kind of stuff. You can see the little turtle, he'll probably, he or she, I set the temperature originally to be females, but then when that thing broke, who knows? So we're back to a crapshoot. But this will probably crawl up to hang out with the other turtles because they like to get either up out of the water or be in a little crevice to be safe. I think it's mostly the crevice. So yeah, that's the update there. I mean, I kind of an exciting update for me anyway. You can see all my algae pearling. We've got ample light. My wife's got this light cranked so she can see the babies, and you know, we'll address that long term. Over here, we still have the vallisneria tank. You can see some of my efforts have failed. Let me just get the chair going. So we put in this piece of tile, and the plant's going around it. So the feeder still works really well, but I need to come in and get these out so you get a nice viewing space. And it's time to potentially thin the herd. I say potentially, because these could either go to the store and get sold, or I'm thinking about testing them out and adding them to Ladybird. I know it's more yellow with the yellow we already have, but I suspect these guys will be very good algae eaters. So what I'm gonna do is try to find something covered in blackbeard type algae or hair algae. If I didn't have those turtles, that'd be the perfect piece of wood to test and see if they clean it up. If they do, guess what? We just solved the 800 gallons algae problem with a cool fish, and I like this big colony. Now these are trout goodeids, or, you know, if you wanna talk in nerd terms, Ilidan furcidans. And these are a live bearer, so they give birth to live fish, but they're different. They actually have umbilical cords, and so they only give birth to a few at a time, maybe 1 to 4 at a time. And the fry come out almost at the smallest size in here, of course, like this size right here. So a little bit smaller than that, but they come out pretty darn big, like way bigger than little guppy fries, like as, you know, way, 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 way bigger. So that's kind of a cool difference because of that umbilical cord. Another update, yeah, more like that size right there. That's like a newborn right there. But that's like, could be a day old. They're that big. So very easy to feed with an auto feeder. Still using auto feeders on most of my tanks. Love it. I highly recommend you guys do it. And yeah, I get that I sell them, but go back 5-10 years in the videos, I was recommending this before I ever sold them. I really like auto feeding for if you're on vacation, you just are lazy that day, you want to feed more than once a day, which I highly recommend. I need to get, now that the turtles are eating more regular and I've got fry in there, I can start feeding them a little bit better. And then over here, we've got the another live bearer, and this is the gold form headrander Formosa. That's what these little beauties are right there. And those are as full grown as those females get, and they give birth to live fish. And that little one that's chasing them, that's the male. So the males are much smaller. Now I haven't had good luck making more. I had them in a big tote. I've got them in this barren tank, and there's a bunch of celestial pearl danios swimming around. So I think that's part of the problem. So that's one that I want to work on, because they should be a little conveyor belt making me a baby basically every 2 or 3 days. So need more cover in there. And really, I think I'm taking my fish room to be much more live bearer focused again. I realize I got away from that. And then as I get away from it, I'm like, I want to get back into it. So here I've got another tank with a little bit of Vienna guppy fry in there, and then lots of shrimp. And this is just all bulbitis African fern. I have done nothing to it other than collect it out of the totes originally, and I put it in here, and I let the shrimp just do their work. And all day long, they clean it. All day long, clean it. That's what they do. The shrimps doing the works. And so if you get a big old shrimp colony, and you know, there's hundreds, if not over 1,000 shrimp in here, and it won't visually look that way. If you've ever bred shrimp in mass quantities, if you can, for every one you see, there's at least 10 you don't. And so if you can go, oh, I can see 30 or 40 right here, it's like, well, that's at least 300 or 400. You start looking in the crevices and you see way more. So this is, you know, there's no substrate in here. There's a lot I want to do with it, but I wanted to get this plant planted. And that's what I'm going to do a little bit of today. You know, whether I film it or not, I'm not sure. But, you know, just kind of doing an update. I don't know. I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss just being a fish nerd. And so I've made a commitment to myself. I'm just going back to fish nerd mode. Yeah, I own a big company. We sell a lot of stuff. I got to test a lot of products. But at the end of the day, I care about that a lot. But I've lost the hobby. I don't go to fish stores anymore because there's none really by me besides my own. I'm not doing the fish I want to do. I'm trying to like, oh, what do I think people would like? And that's always the wrong thing. So we come over here, and so this is a great example of this. This is some fish that I thought, oh, that'd be cool. I could show people I could breed these. And I haven't been. You know why? Because I don't care about them. I've already bred them a ton in the past, and I'm lazy. So these are betta pugnacks, I believe. And they're a mouth-brooding betta. And I've got 2 males, 2 females. You can see that male back there. And I've got my lips for eel hanging out over there. I attached some anubias to rocks, and that's more what I want to do today. I want more and more rocks. And I just want to get my tanks in balance. And that's what they're not, right? So I wanted a big Amazon sword in here. So that's a new Amazon sword. You see it's going through the transition stage. That's fine. Big leaves are melting back, new leaves are coming forward, and you can see that right in the very center of it. Those brand new leaves, kind of right there. All these big leaves are gonna die off, that's fine. And we got some root tabs under it, and you know, it'll do its job. But I wanna get this to be just, you know, a nice planted tank where instead of a black piece of PVC pipe, we've got the ellipsifer eel living in plants. That's what he really wants to do. So yeah. You can see more prototype pieces, you know, more algae. But that's the goal here today is I want to build a few more rocks and anubias or java ferns, and these guys I think are going to go in my pond. My koi pond does have koi in it still, even though a bunch of them got eaten by bald eagles. So, oh yeah, I didn't show you guys these. I ordered these up from Aquahuna. These are long fin neon tetras, kind of goofy and cool. I told myself I wanted them. It's been 10 plus years. And so I said, you know what, let's order some. And so I think I, got about 15 of them. Lots of shrimp, as you can see. Shrimp are everywhere, even with no cover. Look at them just doing work on those plants. So again, this is where I was culling because there's some oranges in there. And those were going to the turtles thinking, oh yeah, they'll eat those. Nope. And this is where people would say, like, aren't you afraid that Corridor is gonna eat all your shrimp or planaria or XYZ? And I go, sure, maybe a ton of shrimp are getting eaten, but in all the tanks I put shrimp, I have insane massive amounts of them. So if I lose 100 of them, I wouldn't even know. This is still the elusive Cardinal Shrimp tank. And I say elusive because you got to stand here and you got to look at them, and then you get to see one, and then you're like, hey, that's kind of cool. Wish it was cooler. And so there's one right there doing his little tippy taps, right? And you got to keep looking. I don't know how many are left. I'm not saying I've killed them all. I'm just saying I don't know. They hide really well. And so part of me wants to rip it apart and go, are they dying out? Oh, there's another one. There's one right there. So that makes 2. You just got to kind of look for them. And, I'm praying one of these days I'm going to see some babies, but so far, no luck. I've got the black chin livebearers. I think these are basically all going to go to the store. They're not colorful enough for me to want to have a display tank for it. And there's a lot of, maybe I'll steal this piece of wood and see if they clean it up. That's a good piece of wood from the clean. Here's a good looking male flagfish, and he's done a pretty good job. He in here, if you look, mostly no algae. I also bought these algae eating shrimps that I hadn't seen before. So hopefully they're doing their job. They look kind of cool. More of a salawasi type shrimp. There's another one there. They were expensive. I don't even remember the name. I gotta look them up. I got them from Eric Lucas. I ended up ordering those, and I got a crypt from him. This crypt right here. But I planted myself a tiger lotus. And so you can see it's making a new leaf right there. Ding. And then I've got these pork chop rasboras or harlequin rasboras, and they're okay. I just don't love them. I kind of want livebearers. I'm in that mode again. I'm in livebearer mode. So I thought maybe I got to do that. Definitely I keep collecting snails, and I feed them to the turtles. Good calcium source, no doubt. All right, what else we got? We got some new furniture. I didn't have to. No one has to get them. I just thought this would be a cooler look than what we got going on over there. And if I show you guys, it's carved wood, and there's koi and lilies. So you see those guys? And then same over here. And it's, I think it's a decent, it's a decent place to chill. And go, let me take a look at the fish room. What am I working on now? You can see there's a project on the way. There's that whole crated aquarium that's going to go right there. There's products right there that are, in testing. So when we come over here, this was a casualty of China. While I was gone, I've recently had someone start to help take care of aquariums. And they were also on vacation while I was on vacation for at least one of the weeks. And so we got behind, and the duckweed basically covered the top, and then it caused the pearlweed to lift off. And so now I'm basically back to square one. I said, all right, let's just remove the pearlweed. It's mostly floating, and let's actually get rid of the duckweed. So we still got some more to go. There's still a few duckweed pieces, but we worked on this week, and we're hoping to work on it even more. And yeah. Just, you can see all the Amanos doing work up there. I put a nice flame sword back there, and I got a little bit of CO2 going right here. You can see just a little bit of CO2. And that's some pogo stem and helferi. I'm thinking about maybe playing with that a little bit, so I ordered some of that up. But otherwise, I've got all these empty tanks. Got that big goldfish that, ate all the duckweed from the 800 gallon. Uh-oh, gotta hook that sponge filter back up. What else? Is there anything I've really gotta show you guys? Oh yeah, also in the the Elmer tank, we had a disaster. I'm gonna call it a disaster. We did a critical mistake. I kind of plugged the filter back in to the light timer. So what happened was, we did that the week before I went to China. And all through China, the filter was only running 6 hours a day. So water got really poor quality. We lost most of the platies, so that sucks. And then algae got really bad, and it burned out the UV sterilizer. So this is now a new a new project to get going well. Good news, all the cupidos, all the corridors are fine, just some more algae and stuff to take care of. So Elmer, thank goodness, absolutely fine. That's the good news, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, update you guys and let you know I'm gonna be changing a lot of stuff. I got a new format of videos I want to do, and I'm back in the fish room. So that's all that needs to be said. I'm back and I'm in the fish room. I'll see you in the next video.
We hope you enjoyed this video. To watch another one just like it, click here.